everyone! Today I'm going to Montauk and you're coming with me. So why am I going to Montauk? Because I love poet Walt Whitman and Walt Whitman loved Montauk. Once we arrive, we will read and analyze one of his famous poems called From Montauk Point. Also, I'm not allowed to leave Montauk until I write my own Montauk-themed poem. Ready? Let's go. I made it to the lighthouse. I'm so excited. I'm going to climb up, take you along with me, show you the beautiful, beautiful views. Let's go. As you can see, I found a nice shady spot so that we can read and analyze Walt Whitman's poem together. I stand as on some mighty eagle's beak, eastward the sea absorbing, viewing nothing but sea and sky. The tossing waves, the foam, the ships in the distance, the wild unrest, the snowy curling caps, that inbound urge and urge of waves, seeking the shores forever. What I love the most about this poem is the way that Walt Whitman intentionally confuses and muddies the grammar of the poetry. He omits a lot of words that one would normally include, and by doing this, when readers read the poem, they become confused about what he's talking about. Is he referring to the sea or himself? The confusion that Whitman creates is intentional. Walt Whitman was famous for writing about feeling one with nature. By creating a confusion in his poem about what is referring to what, he's showing that there is no difference between himself and nature. In line 1 of the poem, Whitman describes the setting. He's standing at the ocean-facing bluffs of Montauk, and using a simile, he compares this geography to standing on the beak of an eagle. There are 3 main reasons why he specifically chooses to compare the environment to an eagle. Number 1, Walt Whitman was fiercely patriotic. Given his love for America, it makes sense that he decided to include an eagle in his poem. Number 2, the physical terrain of where he was standing likely resembled the beak of an eagle. The 3rd reason is that he wanted to convey a sense of feeling elevated, not only physically, but also spiritually and emotionally. So physically, he's obviously elevated while standing on the bluff face of the ocean. I'm sure that his feeling of being extremely connected with nature elevated his spirits. The 2nd line is where the grammatical ambiguity comes into play for the first time. Readers can't tell if it's Whitman or the sea who's viewing and absorbing, and that's the point. Whitman wants to convey that there is no difference because he is feeling so very much connected with nature. This connection with nature is a classic characteristic of the Romantic movement in poetry. Also, by omitting words like I am, which would traditionally go before the words viewing and absorbing, Whitman puts a lot more emphasis on words that convey action and words that convey strong visual images. When Whitman says that there's nothing but sea and sky, he's emphasizing the vastness of the view before him and also reminding readers that he's completely alone. Lines 3 and 4 are saturated with breathtaking imagery. The ships in the distance allude to human endeavor, and they are the only words in the poem that convey such an idea. The fact that these ships in a distance, which represent humanity, are in the distance, further communicates to readers Whitman's isolation. The imagery in line 4 is absolutely brimming with vibrant passion. He writes about an urge of waves, and there's wild unrest. This line feels like an explosion compared to the other lines, and it's a reflection of his emotional state. And in line 5, just as the waves eternally seek union with the shore, so too does Whitman seek eternal union with nature. I hope you enjoyed reading and analyzing Whitman's poem with me. I really need an iced coffee. I'm sitting, this is like some kind of park surrounding the lighthouse, and there's a really cute cafe, the Montauk Lighthouse Cafe, which is open till 9. And that works out well because, as you recall, I'm not allowed to leave Montauk until I write my own Montauk-themed poem. Let's see if I can do this. I got this. I got this. The view is unreal in this cafe. I think I will definitely be inspired. Here's my little station. I've got my laptop and my coffee. Yeah, there's no service. It was a literal epic failure. You know, maybe this was a blessing in disguise. I didn't force myself into being productive. I just enjoyed the view. Lighthouse, a nice backdrop. The people who work at the lighthouse are exceptionally kind. I am officially in love with Montauk. It's happening. I am leaving Montauk without writing a poem. But you know what? I don't make the rules. Montauk does. I leaned on Atlantic beach boulder, cradled by emerald dune grass, lighthouses, tonic Fresnel beams, and the truth, self-excavating finally from Atletiam, while Montauk just casually hosted a seance. You can imagine my shock and delight when she resurrected Monet for dazed Ruby Rorschach, Chopin for Dusk's Prelude, and sugar-bearing prophets for my decapitated soul.